You lost to Chris. Was he younger? Do you mind to come up? Chris was the, okay. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you want to bring somebody up?
If Kristen wants to come up here, she lives with me, so she's like my support system.
Okay.
She didn't know him though, but
No, that's okay.
she supports me.
She's here for you, not him.
Yeah.
Well, for you. If she's here for you, she's here for him too, he says.
I'm surprised. I'm not surprised he called me out on that though. Because so.
Chris says that you and he share something in common in that you can be your own worst enemies.
Right.
And he says he's made friends with himself. And that's what he needed to do first thing when he got to the other side. And he says he did that.
Good.
So there's no separation between him and his soul.
Good.
That he came home. He says he came home. He would just like for you to also find a space for yourself in your own heart. And then you'll really feel like it's okay again. He says there's no difference in continuing his journey. He didn't stop. He didn't take a step back. He just kept moving on. And so he really is truly at peace about that. He just has a sincere desire for you to know he is okay and at peace, but he wants that for you now. And part of that is knowing that he's with you and that he loves you. He says he has no judgment. He has no judgment. There's just love and acceptance, and he wants you to give that to yourself too. He's mentioning December around Christmas time. There's birthday, anniversary, some significant times around that time of the year. And he says this year you'll be thinking of him, but he'll be close. So just know that he's always right there at hand when you need him. I don't know if you'd taken some of his old music, or if there was a connection with him with music.
We had a huge connection with music.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge.
Yes, and he's honoring that. And he says the song may change, but the music plays on. And he wants you to affirm that to yourself when you're missing him. The song has changed, but the music's playing on. Always it will. There's a male with a B, like Brian, or a Brent, who's connected with you, who's still here, who Chris also knew. And he's connected with the music too. But he says reach out to all his friends and let everybody know that he's okay. I know you're Kristen. Do you guys have a friend who's Stacy or Shelley?
I have a friend named Stacy.
Stacy, yeah. Reach out to her. Reach out to her. Chris says she's a good support for you too. Have you lost your grandma?
My great-grandma?
Yeah.
My grandpa?
Your great-grandma. I just have to talk to her for a minute for you. She's very, very proud of you, and she wants you to know she's your spirit guide. She says that you are afraid no one hears you, but she's always listening. So you don't ever have to talk to anybody outside of her and know that she'll always listen to you. And she says, tell Kristen it's not her job to convince everybody else or to make everybody else understand her choices. It's just you do what's right for you, and that makes it right. So you don't feel like you have to make everybody accept you. Just accept yourself. She talks about going out east for you too. There's either family out east or there's some kind of connections out east. And she says you don't have to go back home to find your home. It's in your heart. So don't worry about the family back home, she says.
I was talking to someone I didn't know who before I came here, and I asked for validation, and I didn't have to always... You're telling me everything that I asked
For validation, yeah.
Yes.
Well, you're welcome. Your grandma says, you're welcome. That's what she does as a spirit guide. Truly, truly it is. There's a little, she's shown me a little robin. I don't know if you see a lot of robins around your house or if you really like robins.
Is it a cardinal or robin?
No, it's a robin.
Okay, yeah, I know it.
And then there's a little, like the little robin's egg blue, the little blue eggs in that color. And that Chris is the music connection too, but your great grandma says she just wants you to put a happy song in your heart, like the little robins do. And I think you'll see robins and nests and things like that, and that'll be a good reminder from her. There's an L too, like Linda or Elaine or Lucille, who's connected with your family, who your great grandma's mentioning. You'll think who it is.
I can't think right now.
It's okay. Yeah. She just says, again, she doesn't expect you to try to fix your family. She just wants you to learn how to love you. That's a big enough job. That's a big enough job. And she's also telling me about taking a bus. And then she's laughing because she doesn't have to worry about anybody driving her around anymore or getting around slow. She's like on a rocket in heaven. And I know you get impatient with people. And she says it's okay to be patient with yourself, and then it's easier to be patient with others too. So she's encouraging that. Chris has shown me up north. I don't know if you've got friends up in Iowa, Wisconsin, like in that area. If you do, is up there. Yeah, yeah. Again, she's just mentioning that, shows me that, and you don't have to. She says you're free, you're free, you're free. Oh man. Okay, so who else do I want to talk to up here? Besides Chris, who else do you want to connect with most?
I've got a few.
Just pick one.
So hard. I have Jace was a baby, and my brother was 17, so.
No, I'll talk with Jace. Yeah, he's the one. He is talking about communication not being about words. It's about the presence. And he says he doesn't have to say anything and didn't have to say anything here for you to know of his love and for you to take it with you everywhere. So part of being with him and being connected to him is not about words. It's about knowing, and it's about trust. And that's what he's teaching you. There's an April birthday or anniversary. So around the springtime in April, he's mentioning that time of the year. And he says that no matter what, you're always, always, always a good mother to everybody. You just mother everybody.
I do.
And he says that part of... Okay, so this is he's speaking to me about his soul contract or the spiritual lesson. Part of his spiritual lesson in coming to you and in connecting with you and then knowing him, but then him moving on, was so that you wouldn't lose your focus on just one, but that you would continue to share and grow with everyone. So he says you just keep loving yourself, but then letting that shine out into the world instead of getting caught on any one particular topic. Just keep going like a rainbow. But he says you would have missed some of that if you would have been just focused on him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So now you have expanded into the whole world, and that's what he sees as being a good thing. And also he inspired you in a way that he couldn't have had he physically stayed. So he says there's only good that has come from that, and he says thank you for that. There's a necklace too and a pendant that's connected with him. I don't know if you have a birthstone pendant or if there was a little necklace you had.
My boss made me a necklace with a J on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he just knows that. Again, he says it was a very special connection, and you wear it close to your heart, because that's where he is. Yeah, and he honors that. As far as this, like saying goodbye to him, he says you struggled with saying goodbye because you didn't feel like that was the right thing to do, and he says you don't ever have to say goodbye, and I know you know that, and he's honoring that. And just said you did it right. You did it right. I will tell you just real quick, because your brother's there. The two of them are hanging out together.
I thought so.
Yeah, they are. They are. And Chris has joined the group now. But you really, truly, from all of these beautiful young men, they just want you to celebrate who you are, to lighten up, and truly to find joy in everything you see. Because it's always in everything you see if you'll just look. And that's what Jace knows too. So, and your great-grandma says full speed ahead. Patiently go full speed ahead. Yes, patiently. Well, thank you. And Chris says again, thank you. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. There you go.